Let us now study a sutram which prescribes the affix ta, different from what we had in the last few rules. Last few rules we were studying the affix ka. Now let us move on to the affix ta. This is a section which starts from 3 to 16 up to 3 to 23. Panini prescribes the affix ta. Always keep track of the Ashtadhyayi. Where we are in the Ashtadhyayi is very important, because there is a reason why Panini organizes the Ashtadhyayi the way that he has done. Okay, so this sutram says Chareshtaha. Chareshtaha. It's a very simple sutram. The Padacheda of this sutram is Charehe Taha. We are in the Adhikara of Dhatoho and of course Pratyaha Parascha. So this Charehe is Panchami Ekavachanam, Panchami Ekavachanantam, and it means following the Dhatu Char, the affix ta may be used. Now the Anuvritti of Adhikarane is coming from the prior Sutram 3 to 15. Adhikarane Shetehe. From that Sutram 3 to 15, Anuvritti of Adhikarane is coming into this Sutram 3 to 16. So this is not Karmani, this is not any Supi, this is specifically Adhikarane. So that's one thing which is different here, is that this affix ta may be used following the Dhatu Char, but only under the condition that we have a uppadam, which is the adhikaranam, the locus of the action, locus, the time or place at which the action takes place. So that is the condition here. There has to be a upapadam, which is the adhikaranam, which is the locus of the action, time or place at which the action takes place. So not the object of the action, but the locus of the action. And this sutram is limited to only this one single verbal root, charagatyarthaha, in the dhatu pata. So this affix ta by this sutram is only allowed for this one single verbal root, and that also if you have a upapadam which is where the action takes place, the location of the action. Okay, so let us take a quick example here, which is nishayam charati. Nishayam charati ti nishacharaha, one who roams at night. At night, so we can say like a rakshasaha maybe. Before going on to the example, one small point here is that this charehe is panchami ekvachanam of chari. Chari. So the pradipadikam uses chari. That's panchami ekvachanam of chari. Now in this chari, Panini has used this ik affix for dhatu nirdeshe. Let's recall the vartikam that we have studied. Ik shtipau dhatu nirdeshe. So Panini uses ik or shtip, these affixes, just to refer to a particular dhatu. So here chari simply means this one verbal root chara gatyarthaha in the dhatu pataha. So this is the affix ik for dhatu nirdesha only. This verbal root chara is listed as gatyartha in the dhatu pata, but the dhatu vritti also says this verbal root may also be used bhakshanarthe. So charatir bhakshanarthopi. So we can say this dhatu chara is used gati bhakshana yoho. It really has two meanings, gati bhakshana yoho. In those two meanings this verbal root chara is used. But right now we're using it in gatyartha only, in the sense of moving, roaming around. Okay, so the example here is nishayam charati iti nishacharaha, someone who roams around at night. Derivation now should be straightforward. We add the affix ta to this verbal root char by this sutram 3 to 16 chareshtaha, on the condition that we have a upapadam. In this case nisha plus ni, that is the locus of the action, location, the time at which this person moves around. So the term adhikarane, which comes as anuvritti into this sutram from the prior sutram 3 to 15, that ends in the locative case. Hence nisha ni gets the उपपद-सञ by 3192. Tatroppadam saptami stham. All these steps are now very similar to what we've been doing in the last 3 or 4 examples. And then what we do is remove the it letter takaraha by chutu, then tasya lopaha. You get nisha ni plus char a And then that's nisha ni plus chara. Then we do the compounding between nisha ni, which is the upapadam. Upapadam is upa samipe ucharitam padam upapadam. And so we compounded upapadam with chara, which is the kridantam. So because upapadam ating, Panini says ating, so this chara is not a subantam, but that is fine, because as long as we are not creating a tingantam, we can do the compounding even though we don't have a subantam. Chara is only a pratipadikam, but it is not a subantam. But the sutra upapadam ating allows us to do the compounding before bringing the sup affix. So we compound directly nisha ni plus chara using the sutram upapadam ating. And since nisha ni is the upapadam here, it gets the upasajana sanya by 1 to 43, which is Prathamanidishtam samasa upasajanam, because this upapadam is prathamantam in the samasa vidhayaka sutram upapadam ating. So that is why the upapadam gets the upasajana sanya by 1 to 43. Prathamanidishtam samasa upasajanam, and then that places as the prior member of the compound by upasajanam purvam. All these steps are the same as before, and we get nisha ni chara, which the samudaya gets the samasa sanya because we use the samasa vidhayaka sutram 2 to 19 upadamating, and then it gets the pratipadika sanya by 1 to 46 krit tadhita samasascha, and then finally we do the look elision of the antarvarti sup pratyaya. The sup affix ni, which is inside the pratipadikam, takes a look elision by 2471 supo dhatu pratipadika yoho. Now so we get the form nishachara. It's an adjective. If you go in the masculine, we can say nishacharaha rakshasaha, someone who roams around at night. That night is the location, in this case a time location of the action, time in which the action takes place. Could be time or could be a place. In this case it's the time. Now, to appreciate the purpose of having the takara as an it in the ta pratyaha, the takara is it by chutu, as we just saw. Now, what is the purpose of that? Every it has a prayojanam. There's no point in having a it which doesn't have a prayojanam. So here we didn't really see any effect of the takara as an it in this derivation. But if you look at a feminine form, the corresponding feminine form, if you look at nishayam charati iti nishachari rakshasi, we see the form is nishachari, not nishachara, not nishachara. If we did not have takara as an it in this affix ta, then what would have happened is that we would have been forced to use 414 in the feminine, ajadyatashta, and that would have given us an incorrect form nishachara, but the desired form, the ishtam rupam, is nishachari. Now, how do we get nishachari from nishachara? For that, we have to look at a sutram from the striyam adhikara. The striyam adhikara, a long musical sutram, which is 4115. Tidhanai dvaya sajdajnai matrach tayap chak thai kai kvarapaha. This is a long sutram. Says karna katuhu. It is jars the ears when you read this sutram. But anyway, that's the next sutram that we will look at in order to derive this form nishachari in the feminine, which is a consequence of having a takara as it in the affix ta.